Hi, Bob the Axeman Hildebrand here with
Bantha Bill, and I'm back.
And we're here to talk to you about top 10 things you want to bring to a BB Wars event.
Now before we get to our top 10 list, we wanted to hit the honorable mentions, which are your game ticket and cash for the weekend. Now a lot of people like to wait until the last minute to buy their game ticket, however, sometimes by that point they're sold out, so make sure you get your ticket as soon as you know you want to go. And the second thing is bring cash for the weekend, so whether you need food or at BB Wars events, we do bring items that we're selling, so whether you need gas, BBs, BB Wars apparel, maybe you want that Empire patch or that Rebel patch. We even have full guns there sometimes, so make sure you bring cash to the event for whatever else you may need. So now, let's move on to the list. Now, it may be kind of obvious to most people, but it is possible to forget. So don't forget to bring your gun and a backup gun, because as they always say, one is none and two is one. So you're paying a lot of money to go out to this event, so you don't want it to be ruined in case your only gun goes down. So make sure you always bring a backup so you can continue playing. Now another one that is often overlooked is make sure you know your rules. So because every field and every game has their own set, and they're each going to be a little bit different depending on what you go to. So make sure you know your medic rules, your respawn rules, your minimum engagement distance, FPS limits, etc., before you make your way out to the field. Now another thing that's always good to do before a game is make a gear checklist. So the night before, as you're preparing everything for the game the next day, check off everything that you have. So make sure you got your batteries, you got your BBs, you got flashlights if you need them, extra gas, plate carrier, other, load carrying equipment, BDUs, anything else you may need. And another thing I'd like to emphasize is make sure that you guys do have proper footwear, because in the end, you don't want to be running around in something like this. Although it is good to have a nice comfortable pair of shoes for the drive home, because sometimes it sucks wearing boots driving. But for the game, make sure you have something nice like a pair of these. Another thing that's also very important and often overlooked is make sure you know your field that you are playing at. So whether it's going to be a CQB indoor environment or an outdoor environment, make sure you know where you're playing so you can adjust your guns and your gear to that style of play. Now that being said, also, be sure to check out if there's a map on the website, or at BB Wars events, we usually do have GI employees that have maps for you guys to take a look at. So make sure you find one of them at the field and see if you can get a map. And if all else fails, check out Google Maps, because usually you could get a good aerial view. Skittles! But in all seriousness, it's always good to have snacks out there on the field for if your stomach starts rumbling or you need to keep your energy level up so you can continue playing. So, make sure you bring out something like maybe beef jerky, a cereal bar, or trail mix. Now, Skittles probably aren't the best for you, but they are delicious. So we're gonna pass this on to Bob for number 5 through 1.
Wow, well that was surprisingly informative from an Imperial officer. Thanks, Bill. Next up is sunscreen and bug repellent. Now this is something that I often forget to do. I'll play an entire weekend, not put on any sunscreen, and I will be burnt to a crisp and be not very comfortable for the next week, maybe week and a half. So make sure to bring sunscreen out for the weekend and make sure to apply it regularly. It's best for your skin, it's great for overall health, and you don't want to forget it. Also, make sure to look at your local AO and see what bugs might be in the area that you really don't want to have creeping and crawling around your person. So bring bug repellent if necessary for mosquitoes, chiggers, or even ticks. I hate ticks, so I will do everything possible not to get them on my person. All right, next up are tools and duct tape. Now these items are essential for your weekend to be a success in case anything goes wrong. I cannot tell you how many events I've been to where duct tape has played a major role in just making my event continue to be fun. Because, well, I've had several issues where, like, let's say my BDUs rip, I tape them back up. I had a belt just completely fall apart, and guess what? I made a belt out of duct tape and it worked, and that's what's most important. In addition, if anything goes wrong on your gun or any piece of your kit that you can fix it with tools or readjust it, you're gonna wanna have a multi-tool, screwdrivers, or an Allen key set to make sure your gear continues to function. Next up are dead rags. Dead rags are important to bring to almost any op, including BB Wars, because it's great to know or let your opponent know that you've been shot so he doesn't keep shooting you. Now, generally we have extra Airsoft GI dead rags at all of our BB Wars events, so in case you didn't bring one, make sure to notify a GI staff member and we'll get you one. In addition, it is paramount to bring more than enough water for yourself and for your teammates for the entirety of your BB Wars or any airsoft event in general. The last thing you want to have happen is to get dehydrated at the field or at the event in general, because that can have serious and negative consequences for your health. So make sure to bring as much water as you feel that you need and then put more on top of that, and make sure you hydrate ahead of time before you get to the event. All right, taking up the #1 slot on this countdown is gonna be safety gear and a first aid kit. Without safety gear like eye protection, you won't even be let onto the field at any of these events, including BB Wars events. So make sure you get a solid piece of eye protection, preferably, well, this is my personal preference, with a thermal lens. That's gonna prevent most of the fogging issues you're gonna have. But eye protection that is rated for the field you're going on is a must. You have to have that to play at these events. And I would highly suggest and encourage you to bring eye protection and a face shield or a full face mask, because the last thing you wanna do is have to replace teeth or, well, just have to go to the dentist because of an airsoft event. In addition, it's always great to have a first aid kit on the field for any cuts, scratches, or anything else you might need that first aid kit for, especially if you're gonna help your friends while you're there. All right, well, we hope you enjoyed this top 10. We actually had a lot of fun making it, and we wanna know what other top 10 or top 5 videos you guys would like us to do, like top 5 LMGs or top 5 CQB guns. We've even included a poll in the upper right-hand corner. You should click on that and let us know what you think, or let us know in the comments below. Once again, I'm Bob the Axeman Hildebrand, and this is
Bantha Bill.
And this is GITV.
Now, for those of you that don't know, Classic Army has been in the airsoft business for a very long time. In fact, they were the first airsoft company to come out with the first fully nylon fiberglass filled rifle, which was their G36, and they're the first one to come out with this, which is the first high-end Mark 16 SCAR to the airsoft market.
Alright, so enough of the externals. Classic Army has recently been upgrading their AEG line with better performance parts, but maintaining their affordability. So let's go ahead and take this apart to see what they've done to this rifle.